And I know it hurts to refer to Joe Biden as the commander-in-chief. I realize that hurts. It hurts for a variety of reasons, does it not? It hurts because it's ridiculous that he's the commander-in-chief. It's damaging that he's the commander-in-chief. It's not what you want, it's not what I want, but it's important, I think, every now and then we do refer to him as the commander-in-chief to remind you and me that that is what he is. And whether you like him or not, I certainly don't, whether you like his policies or not, however you feel about him, the President of the United States of America matters a lot. Not just for the country, on the world stage. It matters who the president is. It's extremely important for the nation. Now, the question when it comes to Joe Biden is he going to remain commander-in-chief? Now, look, anyone who's ever watched I'm Right, or if you've watched I'm Right for any length of time, you are well aware of my thoughts on the matter. I think the powers that be are tired of Joe Biden, frustrated with him, and I think this entire thing is a coordinated effort to get Joe Biden to resign. I think they're going to get rid of him. I think he's gone. And in fact, I believe his months are numbered. I believe you can count Joe Biden's time as president in months. No, I don't think he'll actually resign. I think he's going to drop out of the 2024 race. He'll be forced to, but I think he's going to drop out. Now, there are 1,000,001 reasons why Joe Biden is going to drop out. But let's pause for just a moment on something before we go into some of those reasons. He is not going to drop out because of Republicans. Let's just be honest here. Republicans, I refer to them as the low-T GOP for a reason. Republicans lack the spine to force people out. They can't even impeach the guy. Donald Trump was impeached twice over nothing. Republicans still can't come up with, they've got memos, they've got checks. They still can't manage to impeach the guy. So it won't be because of Republicans. It will, however, in part, be because of things like this.
Let's see. I'm just following my orders here. Staff, if anybody haven't spoken to, no, I ain't calling on you. I'm calling on, I said I had 5 questions. Anita from VOA. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah, Los Angeles and what am I doing here?
Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. Democrats don't want that guy to be the nominee for obvious reasons. And it's not because they have some deep love of country or something like that. They understand if he's the nominee, it reduces their chances to keep a hold of the Oval Office. That's what they understand. And it's gotten embarrassing to the point where the president of the Dominican Republic now feels comfortable mocking Joe Biden in his frequent vacations to the beach. He mocked him to his face on camera.
Mr. President, we look forward to welcoming you soon to the Dominican Republic at the next Summit of the Americas in 2025. And that summit will be in Punta Cana, so you have time to be on the beach.
Ooh, it sounds small and subtle. It was not. Now, that brings me to why Joe Biden's going to be gone. Okay, Democrats feel that all the mumbles and stumbles are a liability. Stumbles we didn't even mention. The guy can't walk to and fro without falling down. It's obviously a problem for them. And they're already to bounce him. Because maybe right now you're saying, yeah, Jesse, but they're not going to bounce him. They're going to keep him. Jesse, you're crazy. Okay. Well, in about a 24-hour time span, we saw the New York Times, the biggest communist rag really anywhere in the planet. Communist countries don't have a communist publication as communist as the New York Times. And the New York Times gleefully ran headlines talking about how Donald Trump was curb stomping Joe Biden in the polls. Why in the world would the New York Times run an article so nastily critical of the President of the United States of America? Well, they're doing it for the exact same reason that Democrat stalwart David Axelrod came out and said it's time for Democrats to move on from Joe Biden. If you paid any attention when that news dropped about the polls and Joe Biden's polls and Donald Trump, you saw one specific thing. You see right there from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, as you see, New York Times, CNN, ABC, CBS, David Axelrod. It was all across the mouthpieces of the system, virtually all of them in unison at one time. Within a 24-hour span, they all got up and said, well, I mean, the polls are bad. Polls look bad. Some of them, like Axelrod, flat out came out and said, well, I mean, we kind of need a new guy. Again, it's not Republicans. The evil system in which we live has decided that Joe Biden is a liability. And for them, it's not just that Joe Biden is so ugly as a candidate. I'm not talking about his physical appearance, whatever. I don't care about that. As a candidate, for them, it's not just that Joe Biden is so ugly. That in and of itself would be a problem. It's that the other guy looks so good. Now, again, I'm not talking about physical, but Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom. Democrats have this fully formed communist robot as governor of California. He looks the part. He talks the part. He is a full-blown communist, and that's what Democrats believe in now. He sounds smooth. He's taking these vacations over there to China. And not only that, he's saying all the right things when he's sitting down in all these interviews, which he's clearly giving the interview because he's trying to increase his national brand and get ready to run for president. There's no point for the governor of California to give these interviews, but when he sits down to do these interviews, he even does the, hey man, I'm a team guy, I'm not worthy kind of thing.
You know how your polling goes.
Yeah.
You check every box that the current president doesn't for the people who are worried about him.
I have deep respect, reverence for Joe Biden as a person, his character, his decency, and his capacity to do great things. That's why I'm not worthy of that conversation. This guy deserves it. And we, as members of the party, deserve to have his back.